Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy Titan Sama and we're back again for another video. And in this video, we're going to be trying to decipher the mural in chapter 1138 of One Piece. Let's just get into it without wasting any time, bro.
Yeah, get into it.
First off, let's just go off what Saul said. The present world that we live in now is the third world. So just going off that simple fact, I could theorize that this mural is a prophetic mural. So either someone had a vision type power back then that was a natural gift, or this could be the predecessor of Lady Toki's devil fruit. In this video, I'm not going to talk much about the picture because there have been videos online already of people that have labeled the drawings already, like who they think it is. So I'm not going to go too much into that. The thing that caught my eye the most in this mural is actually the text, the 3 books at the top. The third world, the second world, and the first world. I know in Japanese tradition you should be reading it the first world, the second world, and the third world, but I'm just used to reading my books left to right. My fault, gang. And before I get into my interpretation of the text, let me just cover some of the characters that I highlighted throughout these 3 books. In the first world, the first character we come across is humanity. In this context, I think humanity stands for the people in power, and I'll talk more on that once I get into the different paragraphs. The second character we get into are the slaves. The slaves are the unfortunate, the common people, those that are below. Third character we have is the god of the sun, which I believe is Nika. And then we have the god of the earth, which I believe is the progenitor of Imu's power, the originator of Imu's power. And then we get the serpent of Hull. I believe that to be Uranus, and you will hear the reasoning later in the video. We move on to the second world. In the second world, we get introduced to the god of the forest. That to me sounds like the creator of the devil fruit. I know it's big, it's huge, but you'll hear what I'm talking about in an instant. And then we are introduced to the sun. I know it was already introduced as the forbidden sun in the first world, but I thought it was better to introduce this character in this world. The sun. I interpret the sun to be the power source, the original power source that the Mother Flame is modeled after. I think the sun is the collective consciousness of all the hopes and dreams and wills of everything and everyone on earth. That is what I think the sun is. Okay, these next 2 I didn't know, so I just kind of put a random name to them. I didn't really want to go too deep into it because this can get really deep, especially talking about the Shandorians. So first off, we have the people of the half moon. The people of the half moon, I think, are the Kozuki, or just people of Earth. Maybe back then Earth was called the half moon or something like that. As I said, I didn't put much thought into these 2. And the second one is the people of the moon. So the people of the moon, I genuinely think are the people of the moon. That being the Birkins or the Shandorians, the people that Enel is basically leading right now. And then we also get humanity again. And in this instance, I feel humanity is everyone, the common people. As I said, you'll get more of what I mean in my interpretation of the paragraphs. And then finally, the god of the sea. This right here I didn't put anything to because I didn't want to misconstrue it one bit, because I feel like this is the biggest piece of the puzzle, or one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle, because this has been like center stage since the beginning. Devil fruits can't go in the sea and the devils that live within the fruits are mortal enemies, etc, etc, right? So I didn't want to put anything there, but the god of the sea to me has a very integral role in all of this, and I feel like they were the ones that were truly wronged in all of this. And then we move on to the third world. In the third world, we are met with the unbidden shadows, and I interpret that to be the people who know about the void century, and that I am set in concrete stone about, because I googled the meaning of unbidden and it means without having been invited. So the shadows lingering that know about the void century, they weren't invited to that knowledge, and they are shadows because they're lingering, etc, etc. You get my flow, you get my vibe, I'm sure you do. Now let's move on. The god of the sun. Since Saul said the third world is what we're currently living in, the god of the sun in this has to be referring to Luffy, most obviously. The sun, we spoke about it in the second world, is the power source of dreams and wills. That is my interpretation of what the sun is. I don't believe it to be the actual sun, the star in the sky. You get what I'm saying? Okay, so we have those characters out the way. Let's get into the first world. The first paragraph of the first world reads as follows. There was a fire upon the earth. Humanity succumbed to desire and touched the forbidden sun. My interpretation of that is there was chaos on earth, and the people that are higher up kind of went to a fight or flight mode and decided to use this infinite unknown power source, and they tried to mold it into something that wasn't really supposed to be molded into, right? Secondly, in the next paragraph it says, the slaves made a wish, and the god of the sun appeared, but the god of the earth became enraged. This leads me to think that the people that didn't have access to the sun, the common people, the masses basically, their collective thinking and wishing for someone to control the sun, the power source, in a responsible way to help everyone else, that created the concept of Nika, and the god of the earth felt threatened by this concept being born because they basically had the rule on everything, and now someone who is able to utilize this infinite power source has been born on earth. I could understand where the conflict came. And alongside the serpent of Hell enveloped the world in death and darkness. So out of jealousy or out of fear for this Nika character, the god of earth sided with the serpent of hell, which I think is Uranus, to envelop the world in darkness. They could never meet again. So here's my interpretation of the serpent of hell. So the whole idea of the serpent of hell just reminds me of Skypiea. Do you remember that giant snake that was swarming through the clouds? I feel like Uranus is a creature that lives in the sky, in the clouds specifically, and is powered by an ancient source that is related to the sun, quote unquote the sun. I believe that Uranus is a half organic and half mechanical being that is basically powered similar to Emeth, that is powered through a mystic force that is either a specific person's will or a specific type of will, meaning you can either be a specific person that has to power a certain thing like Shirahoshi with the Sea Kings, or you have to come from the same cloth as a certain type of person that has the certain type of will to power something. Like Luffy, he has Joy Boy's will that powers Emeth, you know? So I believe that the god of earth had a certain power to control Uranus. And just a little insert while I'm editing, I just thought about this idea now. What if the progenitor of the voice of all things is the god of the earth? And this is how it was able to control Uranus. And I'm guessing this was its main ability. And Emu is currently using it, but he can't use it to the best of his ability because he doesn't know the full truth behind it. And the way I came to this conclusion is they both came together. The serpent of hell and the god of the earth came together to destroy the earth. If by logic the god of earth is Emu, what else does he have that basically annihilates things? What annihilated Lucia? We don't even know yet if it is the ancient weapon Uranus, but if it is, that is the serpent of hell. Uranus is the serpent of hell. On to the next. In the second world, there was breath upon the emptiness. The god of the forest sent forth demons. The sun merely spread the embers of war. Here's my interpretation. The god of the forest sent forth demons. That to me sounds like the creation of devil fruit. The sun merely spread the embers of war. The god of the forest, in conjunction with the sun, the power source, created devil fruit. The will that is instilled in the devil fruit comes from the sun. Are you starting to get where I'm going? Vegapunk said that devil fruit come from people's desires. They are a manifestation of people's desires. So if I ever wanted to become a stick, there's most likely going to be a stick devil fruit out there for me. Going off that logic, the sun being the collective consciousness of all of these desires, hopes, dreams, and wills, a piece of that is put into a fruit that is made by the god of the forest. So this is probably a special fruit, right, that has a certain attribute to it. And added a fragment of the sun, it is given what part of the sun was mostly imbued into that fruit, since the sun is pure will, pure desire, pure dreams. And as I said in the beginning, the sun is an infinite, unlimited source. So it replenishes itself in a sense. So when the fruit dies, it pops back up in a different fruit, because the sun, the will itself, the devil, quote unquote, is transferring from one fruit to another fruit. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just transfers, right? The sun merely spread the embers of war. Meaning, if you give people weapons, that could be the embers of war right there. The sun helped the god of the forest make devil fruits, weapons. weapons that were given to the people, humanity, the slaves. You don't know what they're going to do with this power. You don't know what is going to come of it later on. You have no clue what they're going to do with this power, but it is out there now. That is my interpretation of the sun merely spread the embers of war. Another interpretation that I just thought of is, what if the embers are the desires and the spreading of it is giving it to certain devil fruits or splitting it between different devil fruits? The people of the half moon dreamed. The people of the moon dreamed. Humanity killed the sun and then ascended to divinity. The people of the half moon dreamed. The people of the moon dreamed. That right there could go into the makings of the devil fruit. These people dreamed. This could be the certain powers of the devil fruit. This could be the desires that made the different powers, right? Humanity killed the sun. So in the makings of the devil fruit, I guess the sun was also slain. And I don't know how humanity killed the sun when the god of the forest helped make the devil fruits. So that is where my theory kind of falls apart. But they ascended to divinity. That I take as when you bite the fruit, you get the power and you basically become not human anymore. You become divine. You become the sun. And the god of the sea became enraged. They could never meet again. That one is kind of obvious. We've known from the beginning devil fruit users can't swim in the sea, etc, etc, etc. So the god of the sea being enraged is a given. Or not a given. This is kind of the beginning. This is the beginning of why devil fruit users can't be in the ocean. And the god of the sea being enraged is another layer that I don't know how to start even exploring, you know. So I'm gonna leave it just there. In the third world, there was a void upon the chaos, the unbidden shadows. Remember the day of the promise, and they hear the voice of the fragmented moon. Okay, first off, there was a void upon the chaos. That right there is the void century, I'm guessing. In the chaos that was going down in the first world, there was a void that happened, right? Boom, that's the void century. The unbidden shadows. As I said earlier in the video, I know what the definition of unbidden is, and going off the first sentence, which was the void century, this does make sense. The unbidden shadows, the people who know about the void century that shouldn't know about the void century. Remember the day of the promise, and they hear the voice of the fragmented moon. This kind of stumped me, I won't lie to you. So this I'm going to interpret as the people that know the truth about the void century remember what is promised to them, which is liberation by Nika, by Joy Boy, by Luffy, and they hear the voice of the fragmented moon. That I can't really decipher. The only significance I can think of with the moon is literally the minks, the Birkins, Anal, St. Garling, and the Kozuki. So they hear the voice of the fragmented moon. That I'm not completely sure of. The god of the sun dances and laughs, guiding the world to its end. Obviously, that is Luffy in his awakened form, guiding the world into the new dawn, guiding the world into the new beginning, into his version of the great cleanse. The sun will return and the new dawn will come. They will surely meet again. Boy, if you don't... The sun will return and the new dawn will come. The sun will return is me thinking that devil fruits will stop being a thing. All the will, the desires, the hopes, dreams in the devil fruits, the devils themselves are going to go back to source and become the sun again, which is basically going to create an ancient kingdom-like world where everyone can live in harmony, which is the new dawn. The new dawn will come. So once the sun is returned, the warriors, the tribes, the races will all live in harmony again. Everyone will be at peace. They will surely meet again. Earth and liberation, earth and peace will meet again, is what I'm thinking that is. Alright, we done got to the end of the video. This has been a ride. I know my interpretations are sloppy at best. Maybe you guys can give some tweaks, updates, maybe correct me here and there in the comments. Make sure you show some love any way you know how. That can be by liking, that can be by sharing a comment, that can be by sharing the video, that can be by subscribing, you feel what I'm saying. But hey, without any further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed that video, bruh. And I'm gonna see y'all next time. Deuces.